Right, welcome back everybody to, I think we're up to episode 34 in our F1 Manager career mode, role-playing as Dario Franchitti, being the boss of Tauri. Had the British Grand Prix last time out, so we're off to Austria, the place where we got our first podium in Season 1. And it's a pretty short turnaround. We only got 4 days before we head off to the Red Bull Ring. We don't really have anything else to do. Last time out we did that regulation vote, which I think was for more parts. Is that right? Yeah, increasing the engine limit by 1. Same with the ERS and same with the gearbox. So instead of 3 engines, 2 ERSs and 4 gearboxes, we would have 4, 3 and 5 respectively. We won't find that out until after Austria, so we will have to see where we're at. We did bring in some new suspension last time out. I think we might still be going through the process of learning about that on the track. But other than that, I don't think there's much else to do but head off to Austria. I'll let you know if anything pops up. And wouldn't you know it, it has. Claire has gotten in touch with us saying that the hospitality area is in poor condition. So let's see if we can fix that. If I can find that. There it is. Let's refurbish that. $280,000 and it's going to be done in a month. Yeah, that's okay. We'll do that. Or should we upgrade it? 4 mil, 96 days, it'll be done in 3 months. That might not be bad. Yeah, let's upgrade it. We got the money right now. So Michael Loom has sent us out the Austrian Grand Prix preview, saying that we are leading the pack by 19 points, and Pierre is on top of the Drivers' Championship by 13. Sergio Perez took the win last time out, so everybody will be keeping an eye on him, and also keeping an eye on Max, who will be wanting to prove that last time was just a poor strategy call. If you remember, he ended up going with 2 stops, whereas Perez went with 1 and couldn't quite reel him back in. I'll catch you in Austria.
The battle is surely going to rage this weekend. Welcome to the Green Hills of Austria. The Red Bull Ring hosted its first Grand Prix in 2014, and it's been spectacular ever since. The Red Bull Ring is one hungry beast of a power track. Drivers face a steep climb up to turn 3 and a fast ride downhill through wide corners and straights thereafter. There's plenty of opportunity to overtake here, especially with the help of 3 DRS zones. We're about halfway through the season now, and there's still plenty of time for everything to change. All eyes are on the teams and how they tackle the rest of the year. Let the weekend begin!
It looks like we're in for an interesting weekend, huh? Heavy rain for Friday, moderate on Saturday, and then fine on Sunday. Whether that rain hits in just the one practice session or both of them today, I don't know. Likewise with the rain for Saturday, it'll either be in practice 3 or qualifying, or both. Could be a mixed up grid. I'm excited. Let's get into this, eh? I'll catch you at the end of practice.
Oh, there's a spin! Let's have a look. Now watch this. Here's the moment involving Albon. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The car's just gone.
Okay, I had a lockup.
Let's see what happened there. Daniel Ricciardo involved here. That's the contact there. Oh, there's chaos on the track. And the team had such high hopes today. What a shame. Oh, we've had a spin. Let's take a closer look. Now just focus on the Haas. They've spun the car. What a disaster. Sounds like a spin. Let's have a look. So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez. What a spin. Sounds like a few cars have crashed. Here's the replay. Okay, so there we have the Alpine. Goodness me, that is a serious collision. Sounds like we've had a spin. Let's see what happened there. So this was the Aston Martin. And that spin is undoubtedly going to cost them time. Today, we see the culmination of the team's practice efforts translate to the all-important qualifying session. While many eyes may be drifting ahead to the big race, the teams and their drivers will be fully focused on the task at hand here today. Those who make the most of the free practice sessions will head into qualifying knowing that they've given it their all and done everything in their power to cement themselves a good, strong position on the asphalt tomorrow. Stay with us as we see who can deliver on motorsport's biggest stage. We've just had a crash on the track. Let's take a look at the replay. Watch this, we're looking at Lando Norris. They've lost control and there's the crash. We can take a look now. Now just take a look at the McLaren. And that's a big smash. They'll have felt that. Did somebody spin out there? Let's take a closer look. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. What a spin out.
So that's the end of an eventful 3 practice sessions. As you can see from FP1, both Ricciardo and Verstappen have a penalty. Not 100% sure what Max has a penalty for, but Daniel has one for crashing into, I believe it was Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. So I'm guessing that's probably going to be like a 3-place grid penalty or a 5-place grid penalty for doing that, which is unfortunate, but hey, whatever. Verstappen's got a penalty as well, so we'll see. Practice 2 went pretty similarly. Again, we're still on our old parts, so we didn't top the session this time around. Sergio Perez managed to beat us out by less than a 10th. I don't know if there were many incidents in, oh yeah, Alonso's got one. Yeah, okay, so Fernando crashed with, I think it was Lance Stroll in the Williams. Yes, it was. And he ended up with a penalty. Practice 1 was when we had the rain as well. It sort of started off dry, then it went to inters, then it went, if you really wanted to, full wets for a bit, and then back to inters, and then it dried up at the end. We didn't worry about going out on the full wets, because when it was at its wettest, we're in the pits adjusting our car, so I didn't really see the point. Practice 3 was pretty incident-packed as well. As you can see, Tsunoda's got a penalty for crashing into think it was Mick Schumacher in the other Williams. So Williams had a pretty eventful last couple of days, being run into the back by various cars there. And also Lando only did 16 laps because he decided to have a bit of an off about halfway through the session. So lots of penalties. You got Yuki, Fernando, Verstappen, and us in Ricciardo. I'm hoping once we change out our fresh equipment, we should be alright. So I'll catch you at the end of qualifying. There's the confirmation that it's a 3-place grid penalty for Ricciardo. So we have changed out our parts, as you can see, engine just over 70%. We got our new ERS in and I think it's our second gearbox for both of them. So all car parts are in the good range, so we should be alright. I'm expecting rain in qualifying because we did not get any in FP3. So let's see how we go. So end of Q1 and we just went out at the end. Managed to get both guys through reasonably comfortably. Perez is topping the times just over his teammate. There looks to be a bit of a gap between the top 4 teams and next best, with Bottas there. Good, nearly 3/10. So might be a top 4 team battle for the points today, or not today, but in the race. The guys who missed out, no real surprises, both Williams, both Astons, and Latifi in the Haas this time. Yuki out-qualifying Lando, interesting. I wonder if he's got an upgrade that Lando does not. Let's see what qualifying 2 brings, and whether we do get any rain. It did not rain in Q1, let's see if it does in Q2. And given that we're starting on the full wet, I'm going to assume that yes, we will get rain in qualifying 2. So we went out right away at the start of the session just to see if conditions would improve or get worse. It was kind of hovering right around the 4 millimeters of rain. So it was kind of difficult to pick whether you wanted the inters or the wets on the first run. We stuck with the wets, whereas I think Ocon might have been on the inters, and he was about 1.5 seconds slower than us. So I think the wets were the correct call at the start of the session. Then at the end of the session it was drying up, didn't get to fully dry, but we elected to take a chance and go on the intermediates. Good thing we did, because I think if we had have gone on the wets we probably would not have found enough time. And we are sitting pretty in 3rd and 5th. The 5 guys who missed out. You got both Alfa Romeos, Alonso in the Alpine, Lando in the McLaren, and George Russell in the Mercedes. So Yuki makes it through to Q3. A very good effort from him. Also K-Mag up there in P7 will be very happy as well. Russell will not be, but an up and down session for everybody really. The Red Bulls look good, we look good, and the Ferraris look good. So one team's already fallen to the wayside in Mercedes, although Lewis did just scrape through. We'll see what Q3 brings.
Oh, there's a spin! Let's see what happened there. Now just focus on the Haas. That looked like a very nasty spin.
So end of qualifying there, and we were able to find a tiny bit of time for Ricciardo right at the end of the session. Didn't gain him any spots though, so he qualifies 7th, but he won't start there. And Pierre is 5th, but probably also won't start there, depending on what the penalty for Verstappen is. I'm guessing it's a engine penalty, because I don't recall him crashing in FP1. So if it's an engine penalty, he might be behind Ricciardo, but we'll see. Perez is on pole. I'm expecting Lewis to move up to P2, Leclerc P3, Gasly P4, Sainz P5, maybe Verstappen P6, and then Magnussen P7, Ocon P8, Vettel P9, and then Ricciardo P10. So 4th and 10th is my guess for the grid. We are going to be probably starting on the hard tyres so we can push them, and we'll see what the race brings.
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
Alpha Tauri did rather well in qualifying. Let's see if they can manage to achieve a strong start for the race itself. It was a pleasure to watch Red Bull's excellent performance during qualifying. Their drivers will now be looking ahead to the race itself and hoping to capitalize. And the race will be taking place under blue skies. That means the teams should be able to apply their strategies without any added complications.
And Austria is always full of surprises, so who knows what lies in store here at the Red Bull Ring.
So it's going to be a dry race. As you can see, the delta between the soft and the hard is 0.6 of a second, and then basically the medium's in the middle. So the medium can do about 56 laps, the soft can do 44, and the hard can do 84. The reason I'm thinking of going onto the hards straight away is I'm wondering if we'll be able to push and therefore save that soft tyre for a little bit later on than what the medium could provide. That's my thought process. So I think that's probably what we'll end up doing. We can always dump a bit more fuel in as well. How many more laps can we get in here? Oh wow, we can put 5 more laps in. That's probably too much. I think we'll go 4 laps worth. Although we are full power here. But it can also be a bit of a crazy race, yeah. I think we'll go 4 laps more fuel. We'll start on the hards and we'll see where we go from there.
It's bright and sunny as the drivers line up on the grid. And there we have Pierre Gasly. They might not be in the top 3 spots, but things could change fast once the race gets underway. And behind them, it's Ricciardo. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners. Will their hard work pay off today? It's the race we've all been waiting for. It's the Austrian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Cheers, Crofty. Verstappen's in P12. We need to get around a Mercedes, an Alpine, and a Haas. So I think Pierre might be alright now, so I'm going to go standard for him and we'll go neutral. See if he can stay with the top 4. Ricardo's gotten around Esteban. Needs to get around K-Mag now.
That's it.
And he needs to do it pretty quick because K-Mag's already a second out of range. So Ricardo's going to have to do something about that, I think. Going to have a look up the inside. And he might have managed it. If he's got the power. And he does. So if we can get our boys in range, then I think we're looking pretty good. I'm going to go back to neutral and standard for Ricciardo, and hopefully, oh, Gasly's out of range. We'll put him on deploy. And I guess we'll go aggressive on the tyre.
Push a bit more. Could be.
We should be able to catch up to Lewis. Looks like Ricciardo is with Sainz, so that is fine. Let's go back to Pierre.
DRS will be active.
I think we might be the only ones of the front runners on the hards, right? Yeah. Sainz, Leclerc, Hamilton and Perez are all on mediums. So is Verstappen, interestingly enough. Yeah, it sets fastest lap at the moment.
I think there's been a lock-up. Let's have a look. Let's have another look. Sainz is the focus here. And yes, that's the lock-up.
Gasly locked up there. Well, we're back with Pierre now, so...
And that's the lock-up. We can take a look now. Now look at this. It's Pierre Gasly. Oh, and there's the lock-up. That's the last thing they'll have wanted.
Nearly took out his teammate on the re-entry there. Does get DRS though.
Oh, we've had a spin. Let's see what happened there. Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one. And yes, that's where they spin out.
And Sainz is dropping back. Okay, so we're going to have to tell him to go for it, I think. Here. Okay, so we're going to go back on the tyre, I think, then. That was a crash.
Yeah, take it easy. Okay.
Let's have a look. Now just take a look at the McLaren. Oh no! And there's the crash. Mark my words, there'll be questions asked about that later.
Yeah, it was a bit of a harsh penalty, I think, for Lando there. Verstappen is... Perez is in. Interesting. What has he gone to? Perez is on hards. That's interesting. He re-emerges in front of Max. I guess he's taken these hards to the end of the race. We are not. Neither is Pierre. Pierre. What's his name? Charles. Carries on. Sainz is in. Yeah, you know what? Let's go a bit aggressive on these tyres then, shall we?
We can push more.
May as well.
Yeah.
Leclerc is in now. That's interesting. They're going medium hard. We're not. Yeah, Perez is right there now, but we're not pitting yet. Russell and Ocon are in. Perez is there. Maybe tell him to defend a bit. If he can, we'll go aggressive on the tyre as well. Why not? It's held him off. Back to neutral. Okay, I'm going to box one of these guys. I'm going to pit... who's in front? Ricciardo's in front, so we'll box him first. What do we got? 25 laps to go. So we'll pit him. Is this our standard stop? I think this was our standard stop, wasn't it? Pit window in 2 laps.
Copy. So use pit limiter. Pit limiter.
So I don't think he'll re-emerge in front of Verstappen, but we'll see. 2.9, pretty decent time there. He might re-emerge in front of Verstappen, actually. And we have much better tyres than the top 4. So away he goes. Let's watch Pierre. Pierre, we are going to tell him to box now. Don't think Ricciardo has that on him. He does not. You know what? Let's see if we can deploy a little bit and get away from Max.
Use energy.
2.9 as well. It's going to be tight, I think. But he is there. We're also going to tell him don't fight teammate right now. So let's see. We're going to have to tell him to go a bit actually, because we need him to get in front or further in front. Max trying to go the long way round. I don't know if that will work. We have more grip. But Verstappen is there. I think Pierre might just about hold him off. He has. I think he's in range. He is. So while he's in range, I might tell him to harvest a little bit. See if we can just get a tiny bit of ERS here. Probably good now. Okay, good. Go for it, Danny Rick. If you can get around him, get around him. How are the tyres at? Sonoda locked up.
We can take a look now. Now let's look at this. The focus on Sonoda. Well, they've locked up. They won't have been happy about that.
And if Pierre gets around him, which he has, we are going to say, do not fight your teammate. And we're going to hopefully use Pierre to pull away from Max and Carlos. And then we'll see what we can do here. So we did a 106.4 that time. How are we in compared to the other guys? A second quicker, so this lap we will see. We're gonna have to start saving a bit of fuel, I think.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
Still gaining. We're not gaining enough time though, are we? That's okay. We're still pulling away from Max though. Let's push again now. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get him. 7 seconds. In 7 laps. Good recovery drive from Max to go from P12 to P5. It looks like Sergio is going to get another dub. Yeah, we're just going to have to go balanced, I think, now. We'll probably run out of fuel as we cross the line. But I don't care. So let's watch Sergio. Pretty comfy thing. He's got 8.5 seconds. So I think we are going to go aggressive. No real point in not doing it. We got less than a lap to go.
Yeah, that's it.
May as well go overtake for both of them as well, use up our ERS. So a pretty cruisy day for Sergio Perez. Back-to-back wins. Is he a threat for the championship? Maybe. Takes the dub. Leclerc's going to finish 8.5 seconds behind. Everybody up to P12 or P11 got lapped. Pierre comes across 5.5 seconds behind him, and Ricciardo P4. Third and fourth, I'll take it. Having qualified fourth and in the end 8th. Pretty good, I'm happy with that.
Nice one, guys. Brilliant, brilliant. Take all the pickup on the way in. Well done. Take all the pickup you can.
Verstappen P5 and Sainz P6.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. A spot on the podium is exactly what the team deserved, and they got it. The Frenchman was in sublime form today, fully deserving of his podium finish here. Alongside them, of course, the other two talented drivers completing today's podium lineup. This was well deserved for Alpha Tauri. A solid weekend of racing.
I couldn't agree more. It just shows what this team can do when all the pistons are firing.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
As we reach mid-season, the battle will pick up again in the Côte d'Azur. Join us in the south of France at the Circuit Paul Ricard.
Well, there you go. Perez with his second consecutive win ahead of Leclerc and Pierre rounds out your podium. Ricciardo, Verstappen and Sainz complete the points scorers. George and Bottas did both pretty good there to get up 6 spots to 7th and 8th. Ocon down a couple to 9th. K-Mag down 4 to P10. Lewis had that spin, what, about 20 laps in or whatever it was, and that kind of ruined his day. Never really recovered. P11 for him. Fernando up 6 spots to P12. Yuki down a couple to P13. Latifi up to 14th. Albon stayed where he is in 15th. Sebastian Vettel down 7 spots to P16. He collided with Lando, who finished a couple spots behind him, I see. Sandwiching Zhou Guanyu in P17. Lando 18th. Stroll beating out his teammate in the Williams in 19th with Mick P20. Drivers' Championship. So Sergio closes up to Max by 8 points there. He's only 5 behind him. He leapfrogs Ricciardo, actually. And Pierre increases his gap by 2 points. So overall, not too bad. It's pretty tight for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, eh? 10 points separates those 4 drivers, and then the rest are quite a ways behind. Constructors-wise, we probably lost some ground, I think. Yes, we did. We lost 5 points. So our lead is only 14 now, but it's still a lead. It's important that both our guys seem to have pretty decent days, whereas Red Bull, certainly of late, seem to be one guy goes real good and then the next guy has a bit of a nightmare. So championship fight is definitely between us and Red Bull. We are at the halfway point of the season, so we'll see if we can hang on to one or both of the championships. I'd love to win both. Gain just under 3 mil there, pretty happy with that. We have a required email. Let's see what this is. Oh, it'd be the vote announcement, right? Let's see if it went through. Oh, okay, hang on. F1 in Schools invitation. Our annual Aramco F1 in Schools World Finals is starting with the aim to spread awareness about careers in science and engineering through the magnetic appeal of F1. We'd like your staff to attend the finals of the event this year. Okay, yeah, sure, let's do that. We get 100 grand, but our staff experience gets paused for 7 days, that's fine. We can do that. I do want to see the vote, but first of all we'll do the board congratulating us on exceeding their expectations. Fantastic race and strong credit to us as team principal, and their confidence in us as leader has grown. So let's have a look what the regulation was. So, looks like it got voted through, huh? 7 for and 3 against. So Ferrari, Red Bull and Haas voted against it, everybody else were for it. So we've got a little bit of time until the French Grand Prix, 11 days. We will have a new chassis coming up before then, so that will be ready in time for the French Grand Prix. That might give us a bit of an edge there, since we seem to be a little bit behind the others, but we are still developing the car. Hopefully the new chassis will give us a bit of a performance boost in time for Pierre's home Grand Prix, and hopefully we can go one better than what we managed at the Australian Grand Prix. Admittedly, it wasn't Ricciardo in P2, it was Pierre, but hopefully he can get a home win. That'd be pretty cool. We did already technically do that for the team at the San Marino Grand Prix around Imola. I believe that was our first one too, who managed to hold off Max Verstappen, who was definitely on the faster tyre, but he had to come from too far back and ran out of time to catch us in the end. We've got a lead in both championships, 14 points in the constructors and 15 in the drivers. We kind of need Ricciardo to pick his form up a little bit. I don't believe we have any driver development points on anybody. Liam Lawson has 1. What do we want to put this into? Probably, I might go adaptability actually, or smoothness maybe. Might be a good idea. Yeah, we'll go smoothness I think for him. There you go. So I think that will be it for the episode today, so join us next time as we head to the south of France. Thanks for watching everybody. If you liked the video, you can hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you want to leave a comment, go right ahead. This is Mystic Tez signing off. See you later.